What should I read next? Oh, I loved Turtles All the Way Down. I think I'll read that again. Or maybe I should try something new. Oh, never mind, I'll just watch TV. Should I watch Billy Madison again, or something I haven't seen? Oh, forget it, I'm gonna order takeout.
Bella's Pizza.
Wait, should I get the usual or ask about the specials?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Have you ever been in this situation? Having to decide between trying something new or sticking to what you know is good? Computer scientists call this the explore-exploit trade-off. Should you explore, that is, gather more information, or should you exploit, use the information you already have? Obviously, always choosing one or the other isn't going to work. If you only ever explored, you'd be forever discovering new things, but you'd never listen to the same song twice, or have a favorite food. You wouldn't even have any close friends. And if you only ever exploited, you'd have a few favorite things, but you'd never discover anything better. The best strategy is obviously some combination of the two. But what combination? Well, I'm glad you asked. A mathematician named John Gittins pondered this very question and came up with a mathematical model to help him decide. Let's take a dilemma we know all too well. Where to eat? Do you go to your favorite restaurant, Bella's, or try that new Chinese place that just opened up, Lucky Dragon? If we really boil this down, the problem becomes quite basic. There are two options, both with a different probability of reward and a certain amount of effort, like money or time, you sacrifice in pursuing them. Now, an interesting thing that Gittins did was he assumed that a good meal tonight is worth more than a good meal tomorrow, and a good meal tomorrow is worth more than a good meal a year from now. This idea is called discounting, and it accounts for the uncertainty of the future. After all, who knows what could happen? The restaurant might close down, you might move out of town, you might die in a horrible accident. Please don't die in a horrible accident. The further into the future you go, the less certain it becomes that you'll be able to enjoy a nice meal. So it makes sense to value tonight more than tomorrow. Taking all of this into account, he came up with a formula which gives us a number called the Gittins Index. And you just go with the option with the highest Gittins Index. So let's say you've been to Bella's a total of 8 times. 6 of those times you had a good meal and 2 times you had a bad one. When we calculate the Gittins Index for Bella's, we get a value of 0.84. Because you've never been to Lucky Dragon, you've had 0 good experiences and 0 bad ones. And when we calculate this, it gives a Gittins Index of 0.87. Lucky Dragon's is higher, so tonight you should explore. Now, something you may have noticed is that Lucky Dragon, a place you've never been to, has a Gittins Index higher than 0.5. But you'd think that a place you have no information about has a 50-50 chance of being good or bad. And you'd be right. But the Gittins Index doesn't capture the probability of a place being good or bad. It captures the total reward you'd receive from going there. Think about it. If you went to Lucky Dragon and there were flies in the noodles, you had one bad night. But if it ended up having the best sesame chicken you've ever had, you have many more nights of deliciousness ahead. The Gittins Index takes into account that the gain of potentially finding a new favorite far exceeds the loss. But this scenario assumes that you do have many more opportunities to go back. What if it's your last night in town? Is Lucky Dragon still the right choice? If Lucky Dragon turns out to suck, your last night is ruined, and if it's great, you can never go back. In this case, it makes much more sense to ensure a good meal at Bella's. But the Gittins Index told us to go to Lucky Dragon. Well, remember the idea of discounting we talked about? That a good meal tonight is worth more than a good meal tomorrow? Well, the factor by which you discount is very dependent on the amount of time you have left, which means that the Gittins Index changes with your situation. For example, if you're only in town for a week, you should start exploiting much sooner than if you're in town for a year. The Gittins Index gives us insight into why our preferences change as we age. When we're kids, getting excited by every new toy and always wanting to make new friends makes perfect sense. We're in the exploring stages of our life because we have so much time left to exploit. But as we get older, that time becomes limited. And learning a new skill or making a new friend often isn't worth the risk. Exploiting what you already know is good is the logical option. Human psychology is complicated and can't always be summed up by a number. But hopefully, this helps you out a bit the next time you're in this situation.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Thanks for watching, guys. This episode of Up and Atom was based on this book, Algorithms to Live By, The Computer Science of Human Decision Making by Brian Christian and Tom Griffiths. Excellent read. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it, share it with the most indecisive person you know, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. I release a new video every week, math, physics, computer science. Yeah, that's all from me for now, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye!